some people would argue as of right now that Hedera is quote-unquote boring, but I still am bullish on it, and $3 for HBAR is still my price target for this boron, even though that's not financial advice. Now, why is Hedera quote-unquote boring, some people would consider? My explanation is this. It's because not too long ago, when I was talking about Hedera, and back then, right, it was a little bit boring, but then when it had that price pump, what happened? A lot of partnerships came out when it comes to Hashgraph Association. We take a look at Hedera, the hypothetical potential of it having an ETF, right? We take a look at this company and this other company acquiring HBAR. We saw good news like that. But as of right now, we don't really see that, which is why a lot of people consider quote-unquote boring, not to mention the price of HBAR has had a pretty big pullback. But still, for me, I do believe that Hedera really has a lot of fantastic hypothetical potential because the way I take a look at it is that AI is going to be a big narrative moving forward. As of right now, these AI projects, they're not really doing the best along with the whole space overall, generally speaking. But I'm just saying, moving forward, I think it could be something special. And Hedera could play a crucial role in that. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the potential of the AI market. Because if we take a look at AI, right, according to Grandview Research, the AI market is predicted to reach nearly $2 trillion by 2030. I mean, let's just let that sink in. That's a very big amount right there. Keep in mind the GDP of Brazil last year in 2024 was around $2 trillion. And we all know how amazing Brazil is. Just imagine how massive the AI market could be, especially once the market picks up again. And not only that, also moving forward in the future, I think there's a lot of hypothetical potential here. Now, why could Hedera play a role in that? The reason being is because when it comes to these other projects that are focused on AI, generally speaking, we see them use traditional blockchain technology. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. And I think many of these traditional blockchain technology type of projects, they're still going to do good, and I'm bullish on them as well. Generally speaking, the good ones, of course. But the way you take a look at it is that Hedera does take things to a whole nother level. Now, what do I mean by this? Hedera Hashgraph actually doesn't use traditional blockchain technology. Now, some people may be wondering, whoa, how's that possible? Well, in this case, it is possible because Hedera Hashgraph actually utilizes something called a directed acyclic graph, which is just a lot more dynamic, arguably, in my opinion. For instance, right, we see these projects that use traditional blockchain technology. Sometimes people would argue that, hey, they use too much energy. However, when it comes to Hedera, just by nature, because it's so fantastic, just because it's a directed acyclic graph, again, Hedera Hashgraph, it uses way less energy. As a matter of fact, per transaction on average, Hedera consumes less energy than the BNB chain, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Algorand. I mean, the list is just very massive, right? When you take a look at Hedera in terms of energy cost savings, I would argue that it's actually very fantastic. Not to mention as well, we take a look at improved scalability. Hedera's native services can reliably scale up to 10,000 transactions per second and even beyond. So the way to take a look at it is that because by nature, traditional blockchain technology is a little bit limiting when compared to a directed acyclic graph. As this boom progresses, if let's say the Hedera ETF does get approved, could you imagine how amazing that would be? Now, if let's say it got approved right now, the Hedera ETF, for whatever reason, it wouldn't really make an immediate difference, but let's say during a fully fledged bull run, this could be amazing. And think about this, right? Usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. 18 months from the last Bitcoin halving event would be around October this year. Now, that's no surefire date, but it's just basically based off history. Now, imagine if, let's say, the bull run starts picking up again, let's say in July, in August, or whatever the case may be. And then let's say at that point, the Hedera ETF gets approved. Is $3 really too much to ask for at that point? That's just the way to take a look at it. I don't think so. Now, that's hypothetically, but keep in mind, when it comes to Hedera, take a look at how $3 isn't even that far away at this point when it comes to HBAR. It's around a 15x from here. I get it, it's not around a 10x like what we saw not too long ago, but still, it doesn't seem too bad, and it's not like it's too far away, again, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, reaching the price of $3, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $127 billion. I don't think it's too much to ask for. Take a look at even XRP as of right now. Market cap is well beyond $100 billion, and we're not even in a fully fledged bull run yet. Not to mention, you've seen BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap back in 2021. That was years ago. I don't think this is too much to ask for, and I think Hedera is just a lot more dynamic than, let's say, the BNB chain. Now, again, only time will tell, but when there's over 600 million crypto owners, at least according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history, I think it would only be fair for me to assume that this board could be something very special, which is why I'm not giving up. I get it, things are a little bit boring as of right now. I'm totally aware of that. But the way you take a look at it is that there's better days ahead. When I take a look back in 2021, during that time of around March, early April, things seemed a little bit boring. Who knew that months later, Dogecoin was going to reach over $80 billion in market cap, Shiba Inu was going to reach around $40 billion. I'm sure some people did, but I'm just saying as a figure of speech, it wasn't like 99% of the crypto owners thought that was going to happen. So that's why, as of right now, it kind of reminds me of that. I think better days are ahead, and I'm not going to give up when it comes to HBAR. I still believe in this, and I still believe in the crypto space overall. I think Bitcoin could hypothetically make a good recovery because take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. I just think it's too good to do bad during this war. And historically, again, there could very well be ways to go as a worst case scenario, which is why I still believe in this. And imagine once Bitcoin goes back to 100,000, and let's say it even goes beyond to around 150,000, 200,000, and maybe even more. Man, really, the sky's the limit for something like HBAR, which is why I've been giving up, and $3 is still my price target for this bull run. I'm not giving up. And make sure to subscribe if you gained value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Malay the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm on peace. Bye.